I know Representative Oliver had previously presented this bill, so we've already been through it once. But there were some changes that were made, and I'm going to recognize Ms. Cooper from the Department of Family and Children Services to walk us through those changes. Ms. Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am actually working from LC 2979988 ERS, but I think I can cover most of the changes.
That would be just the two
Okay.
changes that were made. So just please proceed.
Okay. Members of the committee, these changes begin on line 69 on page 3. A prior version of the bill spoke to the eligibility requirements for the Extended Care Youth Services Program and said that youth involved in the program may be required to meet one of the following criteria. Chairman Ballinger has strengthened that language to ensure that the requirements are met, and it says meet objective eligibility requirement eligibility criteria established by DFACS, which shall include one or more of the following requirements. The may there is changed to a shall. Chairman Ballinger also on line 75 has added a requirement that those participants in this Extended Care Youth Services Program are employed for at least 120 hours per month if that is the only eligibility requirement that they are meeting. And then down on line 76 through 78, it goes to the earlier reference to the at least 80 hours of working per month. If the individual is also involved in post-secondary education, secondary education, or vocational education, or is exempt from these due to a medical condition. Turning the page to paragraph D on line 92, Chairman Ballinger has added a requirement that every 60 days a DFACS case manager shall determine if the child is still eligible for extended care youth services. And on line 98, this adds that a child may not enter the program after their 20th birthday. And then finally, on lines 134 through 138, what was previously the word initial on line 136 has been changed to prior, and the word annually...
Actually, it's previous. Sorry.
Oh, previous.
Yes.
And the word annually would be struck from line 137. And that was just to tighten the language and ensure that the permanency hearing, which is required by federal regulation, occurs within the 12-month period as required. And that is all.
Thank you, Ms. Cooper. I appreciate that. Any questions from members of the committee? Yes, Representative Oliver.
I'm trying to figure out, I just didn't move quickly enough with you, where you're making 2 classes of eligible beneficiaries at age 20. And I'm trying to, where is that? You changed the, you can't apply if you've turned 20. Where is that?
That's on line 98 and 99.
Okay, and that's on 7988 and not on 7992. Which? Okay, on 7992.
Okay. All right. Yep. That's it. The Health Study Committee.
That usually
That's not members
creates
of the
2
committee.
different classes of beneficiaries, one who are eligible and one who are not eligible. Do y'all think that's going to be lawful to do that?
It was my understanding that that's to bring us in line with the federal requirement.
Does the federal requirement say you can't apply after age 20? That's the question.
It does not.
So you're creating 2 different classes of beneficiaries, 2 different classes of 20-year-olds, some that are eligible and some that are not eligible. Do you think that's lawful?
Our previous discussion around this was to stop it within 6 months of their 21st birthday. Our policy staff tell me that it takes about a year to get an individual stabilized once they've entered the program. We felt that if someone entered the program, we would have additional court hearings that would be required, and the time that it would take to get that individual stabilized, we wouldn't be able to work that out. They tell me that this is okay from their review of
They being the,
our policy staff that work with our federal partners.
may I have one other question, Madam Chair?
Sure.
I'm looking at 7988 right now. You're changing the may to shall on line 67 or line 70? You gave me two different references there.
There is a may to shall on line 70. The language is also tweaked slightly to ensure that the individual has to meet one or more of the eligibility requirements. And I believe that's the only place.
Okay, I'm just looking at the two versions here. I'm looking at 7988 and I'm looking at 7992.
We're looking at 7992.
Okay, so the shall is the same on line 70 as it is in 7988. And the only thing that would make sense to me, as you describe it, is if the may on 67 were a shall, but I could be wrong about all of that. I'm just trying to follow you.
The shall on line 70 is pertaining to the eligibility requirements.
But that doesn't change from 7988, the earlier version.
I see what you're saying, Representative Oliver. I'm speaking to changes from LC 297967 ERS. The only change that I'm aware of from 88 ERS to 92 ERS is the change from initial to previous and the striking of annually on lines 136 and 137.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. A question from Representative Cox.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just, and I mean, I can certainly direct this to the gentlelady at the podium or anyone who cares to answer, but and I'm working from 7992, line 73. Could someone just clarify for me, be a participant in a program or activity designed to promote or remove barriers to employment? What would be an example of an activity designed to remove barriers from employment?
I can actually speak to that. I sit on my local focus board, and we actually have quite a few employment readiness programs that are focused through the Cherokee Focus program. Those include interview skills, resume building, how to dress, and some soft skills, I think is what they call it, typically speaking. But these are, basically programs that are offered either through a community-based program like Cherokee Focus or through a more focus group through maybe a junior college or technical school.
So that's a tangible enough activity to where DFACS could make a reasonable determination that they're participating.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing no further questions, what is the will of the committee? There's a move to pass from Representative Oliver. Is there a second? Second from Representative Collins. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please like sign. Hearing no opposition, the bill carries. House Bill, so that is House Bill 972, LC 297992 ERS is hereby recommended with a do pass recommendation. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, members of the committee, I'm going to present to you. You should have received a handout of House Resolution 1260. This is a study committee. It will basically study how our juvenile court judges are appointed, how our juvenile court judges are compensated, and any oversight of our juvenile court judges. I hope everyone has had an opportunity to read the resolution. Since assuming the chairmanship of Juvenile Justice, several judges have come to me with specific questions and concerns about the appointment process, some of the oversight, compensation problems that we kind of run into. Also in some of our multi-county jurisdictions, there are also some issues. So basically the study committee would be specifically to address those concerns. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that members of the committee might have. All right, hearing no questions, what is the will of the committee? There is a move from Representative Cantrell. Is there a second? There is a second from Representative Raffensperger. All those in favor of House Resolution 1260, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, please signify by saying no. Thank you. The resolution carries, and the committee members, thanks y'all. I really appreciate it. I know everybody really wanted to go home. I really wanted to go home, but I really appreciate y'all hanging tough and getting these two through. Thank you so much. We are adjourned.